Ontology, and I got Waves over here. Today we're going to talk about a very, very important and a very, very cool integration between both projects. So before we really kick that off, I like to kick off with some introductions. I'm Kristof. People know me as Mr. Kristof on YouTube, the greatest cryptocurrency YouTube channel ever. Okay, make sure you guys understand that one. Over here, I have from Waves, I have Inal, and then from Ontology, I have John. And to make sure you guys get a good understanding of who they are and maybe help you guys, I don't know, understand their mentality and where they stand with cryptocurrency, I'm going to ask this question that I've asked other project leaders before. And that question is, we'll go with you, John, is what brought you into cryptocurrency? What was that segue, their very first introduction, that very first leap of faith you took into cryptocurrency?
Well, thank you, Mr. Kristof. You do have the best platform ever. Well, it's kind of, we were talking about this before, right? Getting to the crypto world is always kind of a funny story. My case is pretty much the same. My ex-partner, girlfriend at the time, that was in 2012. She was already dealing with the whole Bitcoin situation. She was getting deep into the whole technology. She was doing some research on how it works. And I live in a very anarchist city, which is Berlin. And
Nice.
the word started to spread around Bitcoin, the fight against the system, against banks and financial institutions. So I got involved because of my partner back then. I purchased a small amount, now would be considered a large amount, but I purchased what I thought was a small amount, and I started working with people in the industry, in the marketing industry. And I started earning in BTC because I didn't have to pay taxes. So I went to Room 77, which is a famous cafe and burger joint in city in Berlin. And you could buy burgers, you could buy hot dogs, pizza, beer, everything. You could buy it with BTC. Now, the price for back then for a pizza or for a burger was about 15, 25 BTC. And you were just handing it over. So yeah, Room 77 in Berlin, big respect for them. They're still out there. But we were buying pints just like that with BTC. So I got involved.
15 to 20 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Ouch. Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
So yeah, I mean, ever since I've been involved in the industry since 2012, at least from a philosophical point of view, and in practice, I have been in the industry since 2017, working inside and loving it so far.
It's very interesting. The philosophies of Bitcoin, right? Decentralization, unconfiscatable, transact 24/7, 365 days a year, banking the unbanked, owning your money, all those beautiful philosophies in cryptocurrency. It's a very sad thing, in my opinion, that they are disappearing and they're fading quickly.
Yes.
I feel like the new narrative that people in cryptocurrency, especially in Bitcoin right now, are being sold on is just hodl for dear, hang on for dear life, hold on to it, and wait for it to be worth more money down the road. Me as a purist, as a Bitcoin miner, as someone who got into this, those very same philosophies that you did, it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts because I feel like it's hindering the true growth. It's hindering adoption. It's hindering development, in my opinion, by getting away from the philosophies of why everyone bought Bitcoin in the very beginning. You know what I mean? Drives me nuts that people don't understand or even appreciate that. It's like a new breed of Bitcoiners that are just here to extract as much USD value as possible out of Bitcoin versus preserve the philosophies. You know what I mean?
I agree with you, and it's if you think about it, it's kind of the topic right now that most of the people in the industry they don't want to speak about anymore. It feels that no one in the blockchain or in the token economics industry want to speak about the philosophy of the protocols anymore. It's just
Yeah.
about gains, wins, profits, losses. So it seems that the nature of the technology is heading towards just a quick win and just a number. And I agree with you fully. I think we're on the same page in there. It kind of makes me sad on a level, but on another level makes me very angry. God, I never continue my karate or my boxing class. Otherwise, I will be just punch people around in conferences. Um, so yeah, we're on the same page in there.
Yeah, yeah. All right. John gave us a pretty
Hey,
interesting story. I'm sure you've got something pretty interesting yourself. So you work with Waves. Now tell me what was that first leap of faith for you into cryptocurrency? What drug you in to the whole Bitcoin craziness?
well, that's a long story, but long story short, as far as I remember, it was 2014 when I just first tried some cryptocurrency. It was not Bitcoin, it was Dogecoin. At that
Oh
time,
no.
yeah. I have heard about Bitcoin, of course, since like 2012, I guess. But I've tried first Dogecoin. It was 2014. Yeah, I was working at university, and we had some research about cryptocurrencies and blockchain in general, and we even mined Dogecoins at university. We even tried. We even had a cluster of servers, and we even tried it there. So that was yeah, it was fun. We were earning like $20 per month or something like that, but it was just like okay, we earned it, but what to do? We cannot pay for it. We cannot pay user Dogecoin for almost anything. So we were trying to find how we can exchange it using decentralized exchanges. We wanted to do it in a decentralized way even at that time. So that was my first attempt to try blockchain, I guess. Then I had a startup since 2014 till 2016 about tickets. And first it was just like a platform for event managers, but then we decided that why we can't use blockchain because there are lots of fraud and fraudulent behavior in event space. So we tried to use blockchain there as well. And then I just moved to Waves. So yeah. Unfortunately, I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say Dogecoin. That right there. Okay, that's like the best story. that that is pretty. That's pretty. That's the coin that will never die. It really isn't. Did you see what it did recently with TikTok? How it had a TikTok craze and then it pumped. It's Dogecoin's that one thing that literally never dies. Every so often, someone says something about it and it blows up. Actually, before TikTok, it was because Elon Musk tweeted something
Yeah.
about Dogecoin,
Yeah.
and then it took off again. It's just like it's the coin that refuses to die. But that is pretty interesting. That is pretty cool. Now, something that I wanted to mention is like the adventures of like Dogecoin, the philosophies of Bitcoin. While the whole dynamic of crypto is changing right now, I feel like DeFi, which is where we're going to get into right now, I feel like DeFi is bringing back a lot of those philosophies and a lot of that adventure that crypto used to have in a different kind of way, right? Because with the DeFi, with the decentralized exchanges and DeFi protocols, you're getting back to that narrative of ownership, that narrative of getting rid of the middleman, right? It's like a mutual policy. It's a mutual a fund kind of a thing, right? Where it's controlled by those who contribute. So I mean, I think we're slowly getting back into those adventures, and I think we're slowly getting back into those philosophies in different ways. But still, unfortunate that the USD value is the thing that everyone's chasing out of these protocols right now. But from what I understand, you guys are collaborating. We're going to bring Ontology and Waves together. Ontology having wing finance, Waves having gravity, which is really cool. Both of them are pretty cool. I was actually looking at wings, and the thing that wing finance has is the credit rating, which we were going to dive into. But to give people a perspective of why this is a relevant partnership and why this is something that everyone should be paying attention to, let's do a quick breakdown, a quick summary of, let's start with the Ontology first, of what Ontology is. What give me an idea of DeFi and Ontology. You know what I'm saying? How is Ontology and DeFi, where does that marriage come together, and talk about the platform?
Yeah, no, it's interesting. In terms of Ontology, as an open source blockchain protocol, Ontology is not a lending platform, nor it was thought to be that, right? So we have to start from the very beginning. Ontology, since its creation, is a data and identity side chain. We are native, we are open source, and ever since mainnet, we have tried to give the developers and to give the community what they need to build robust products, right? Now, DeFi comes into the picture, and we kind of figure out, okay, first of all, what can our protocol do to the DeFi industry? And what we thought is that, well, every single industry out there, regardless, it can be DeFi, it can be supply chain, it can be the medical industry, they all contain one thing, and that's identity and data. They just merge, they're together, right? As a patient, if you have medical records, that's data, and your identity gets tracked. So we found out that for the DeFi industry, in order to, first of all, reduce the amount of speculation in the market, but also over collateralization, thought, how about if we bring something from the traditional industry, we make it decentralized? And we build a decentralized credit score, which is called O-score. And what this credit score does is that it tracks your credit history in any lending or borrowing protocol, and it creates a scoring. So if you have paid your debts, if you have paid your loans, or if you have been a borrower or lender, this gets tracked on chain. It goes on a smart contract in the Ontology blockchain, and therefore offering a more transparent ecosystem, if you want to call it. And this is an interoperable and parachain framework. So these can get connected to Waves as it gets connected to Ethereum, as it connects to Polkadot, Near, Phantom, etc. So what we're doing with Waves is equally interesting. We are just building or trying to build these Ontology identity solutions under the OntID framework connected with the Waves protocol. And we do this by having a parachain framework. Sounds a bit geeky, but in praxis, it's actually quite easy. It's all by APIs and run by SDKs. The people from Gravity, which is an oracle pegged to the Waves chain, just makes the off-chain data accessible to the chain itself. So it's I'm very excited as well as Inal is.
The O score, I find that very attractive because that is credit worthiness in the world of DeFi is something that will have to be established, especially as you gain more users. I actually have a background in traditional credit reports here in the U.S., believe it or not. So I know the relevance of stuff like this and how credit worthiness can actually impact a borrower. You know what I mean? So I think that's a really important ecosystem. Now, something else that I heard that I wanted to touch up, because I feel like this could be pretty relevant as far as the O-score system goes, is I heard that Ontology has some sort of partnership happening or some sort of collaboration or something happening here with the automotive industry. Is there any details that you can give on that? Because I mean, when I heard that, I was like, oh, come on. I need to know more. I need to know more because you have a DeFi, credit scoring, and automotive. That's sexy. That's sexy
Yes,
right
sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for the compliments. Well, yes. I mean, it all falls down again to data, advanced data markets, and identity, right?
Right.
I cannot disclose the name of the German automobile car manufacturer. Um, we're working together with them on a pilot, which is to start in Asia, but also in Germany. And it all falls down to the identity of the driver, but also the identity of the car itself. And what it gives is a one-click solution for the end user to have access to the car console, which has all the likes, dislikes, and basically track data that has been recorded in the past. So cars nowadays are not just automobiles anymore. They're just not a piece of metal used for driving. They track a huge amount of data. Where you go, where do you drive, who are you calling in the car, what kind of music you listen to, what kind of audiobooks you listen to, and so on. So they're tracking a lot of these data, and we feel that that's fine, but also the end user should be aware and responsible for the data that you are actually producing. And you are supposed to give it away if you want to have complete ownership of that data, of that production of data, and your identity, your sovereign identity as well. So we're building that framework together with this German automobile car manufacturer.
You know, just thinking out loud here, I'm gonna throw in something. So the reason I do have a background in credit reporting here in the United States is also because I was in the automotive business, the finance and the insurance side.
Nice.
So I understand the automotive side. I understand where you're going with automotive data because that's something that a lot of manufacturers and dealerships are being trained in is understanding customer privacy with, like, here in the US, like an American car that has OnStar, for instance, right? OnStar is a GPS system, a tracking system, a crash avoidance system, a crash alert system, all of which it records the driver data. Everything you said, including how they react at stoplights, how fast they brake. I mean, all kinds of stuff. One thing that I find interesting is this could actually be added to automotive insurance layer as well. So that's just something that maybe you guys should ponder in, because I know insurance companies here in the U.S. are hungry for that kind of data. So very, very interesting. Now, one more thing I want to ask you before I jump over to Inal and we talk about some gravity is wing finance. Give me a quick summary and understanding of wing finance in this whole ecosystem.
Yeah, Wing Finance is a DeFi platform. It's a cross-chain DeFi platform that has been built on the Ontology network. And I mean, it basically will allow developers to build DeFi solutions on it, dApps, frameworks, protocols, and we do this by also incentivizing the community with a Wing token, which, by the way, the pool started yesterday. You can actually mine the Wing token using your OMT token. In the very future, it's also going to be wrapped with the Ethereum token as well. So we welcome all developers to my pool to check it out and to read about the platform. And it's we're going to make our best to give the DeFi industry all the solutions and all the benefits that we can, and the know-how that we have gathered through the years.
Very, very nice. I was actually looking at the platform itself, just getting acclimated with the white paper on that, and it's very, very interesting stuff. I like the model. I like where this is going. This is ontology and its entire ecosystem has come a long ways. You know what I mean? It's like Waves. It's something that's been a favorite of the crypto community for a very long time. So very excited now. Help me bring this full circle. So John laid out ontology. He laid out some of their ambitions. He laid out what they're doing in the DeFi space. Help me bring this full circle, how this fits in with the Waves, Gravity, Neutrino ecosystem.
Well, that's a very tough question because there are lots of things to cover. First of all, yeah, we have lots of things right now. We also work on DeFi as Ontology does. We have great products and projects like Neutrino, and also there are good projects on top of Waves protocol like Waves Exchange. And we both took both projects. We put lots of effort on bringing DeFi into the, not only building DeFi for people in crypto who are already in crypto, but we are trying to attract more people. And to attract more people, we believe that we need interchain DeFi, not only not to say, hey, if you want to use DeFi product, then use 10 different protocols or use only one protocol. No, we want to make it one big ecosystem. So we have our own solutions, I mean products on top of Waves, like Neutrino, Waves Exchange, and we also have a Gravity, which will help to interconnect all different protocols. And Ontology, of course, is one of the most let's say, interesting protocols to interact with because, as John already said, there are cool and interesting projects. I don't know many projects in terms of identity, for example, but Ontology does have identity solutions. So Gravity will help to bring all those data, all those DeFi opportunities to different chains, not only to Waves, but first of all to Waves, of course. Gravity is blockchain agnostic, so Ontology holders also can benefit from it. They can stake their tokens and they can just run Gravity nodes as well. So there are lots of possible ways, possible paths how different projects can interact with each other.
Very, very nice. Gravity is something I've been speaking of quite a bit on my channel. And I've actually seen a lot of interest. Now, maybe you can help me clarify the relevance of Gravity being blockchain agnostic, why that is such a big deal. I mean, I give it in layman's terms, and I guess it doesn't, because interoperability, that's like, it's like, okay, in the traditional world, whoever can figure out AI and solve AI, it's going to be that's going to be like the world's richest group. That's going to be like the creme de la creme of technology. In cryptocurrency, the team, the project, the platform, the business that can actually solve interoperability, real interoperability, right? Those kind of solutions. That right there is it's going to be like the AI, right? So I try to explain it that way. Maybe if you explain it more in technical terms, why blockchain agnostic is so important, maybe more people will understand how big this actually is.
Well, I'm a tech guy. I'm a developer advocate, but yeah, I do write some code. So we have a term like first-class citizen. When we speak about tech, we have a term first-class citizen. For example, we say that something exists in this programming language as a first-class citizen. When we talk about blockchains, there are some interoperability solutions which offer a new protocol and a coin and a token to handle all this interoperability things. But Gravity does not introduce any new things like coins, and it introduces the technology, but it does not introduce any new coins. That's a big thing because all the blockchains connected to Gravity are first-class citizens. They're you can use dApp in Ontology, for example. You can call that dApp from the Waves chain without buying, for example, Gravity token or something like that. That's a big deal, actually, because if we talk about other solutions, then we have, let's say we have one, I don't know, interoperability solution A. I don't want to name any projects here. Interoperability solution A we do have. And most of them say, if you want to interact, if you want to call from Waves chain an ontology dApp, then you have to buy some A tokens, and the interaction will go from Waves to A and from A to ontology. And so backwards is possible as well, but it depends. Anyway, when we talk about Gravity, they can interact with each other using Gravity protocol. So there is a Gravity between our two chains, but there is no token. So we can say that you should not buy any like coins, exchange it from one to another. You should not do anything with it. You just use Waves, use Ontology, use tokens on both chains, and just call Gravity decentralized application in Waves or in Ontology. That's it. So that's a big deal for developers. It's much easier to do like interchain stuff, or for example, if some developer, a team of developers will decide to build some insurance solution for automotive or something like that, then they will be able to call Ontology chain to get data from there without I need to buy some Gravity tokens, because Gravity tokens don't exist.
That's no, and see, that's an important detail I left out, is the absence of needing to buy a token, because it creates some sort of tokenized transaction, right? That's the thing I left out, and I think that's hopefully that resonates with those who understand it, and I think those who understand DeFi will have an appreciation for that. You know what I mean? So to summarize this collaboration with Ontology and Waves, basically Ontology is DeFi. Ontology is just another one of those DeFi platforms that's going to work with the blockchain agnostic Gravity platform, correct?
Correct.
Got it. Just want to make sure, because I mean, this is a pretty big deal to see two OG platforms trying to provide real DeFi solutions. And I got to say, with Gravity, you know, like I said, interoperability, in my opinion, is a huge thing. And to lay out there and clarify that interoperability without that extra need to buy something, without that extra need of a token, but just a functional blockchain to make that happen, that's huge. And having someone like Ontology come and part of that ecosystem, and Ontology is bringing something exciting in the automotive world, which I hope to hear more about, with credit scoring, you know what I mean, and the wing finance. That's a pretty big deal. When John, when do you think you guys are going to reveal more about your German counterpart over there, as far as the who it is?
It's going to take only a couple of weeks more. We are solidifying the deal. We're running tests on the solution, so it's just going to take a couple of weeks more. And you're going to be the first ones to know, and the Waves team as well. So just stay tuned. Yeah,
absolutely. Inal, question for you. Is there any juicy news coming up anytime soon for Gravity that you're aware of that we could share?
I'm not sure that I can share news, unfortunately. There are lots of things happening, of course. There are, like, we talked about some partners, like, for example, Ontology is one of them. Many projects have known about Gravity because of that partnerships. And now lots of them just coming to us and asking, hey guys, can we use Gravity too? Hey guys, we'd like to connect to Gravity. So we're in contact with them. We don't want to announce partnerships just to announce partnerships. So we talk mostly about details. We try to go deeper. So lots of things happening, lots of things to be announced. But unfortunately, I cannot disclose any names.
Nice. No, that's actually what you said right there is exciting in itself. Knowing things are happening and seeing that the Waves ecosystem is exercising what you would call maturity in this space by saying, hey, we're not just going to announce every single partnership just to announce it. But when there's something meaningful, super relevant, or something actually in the works, that's a big deal. And hearing that there are things in the works means that we'll be having more of these fireside chats soon. So I mean, absolutely. I mean, this is a good conversation. I learned a lot. Actually, eye-opening conversation for me as far as Waves, because that one little thing, that one little detail I left out, the absence of the token and why that's a big deal. I left that out. And ontology, you left me hungry for more, John. So I'm ready. I'm ready to hear more about this, and hopefully everyone else is too. But listen, guys, I appreciate you taking time out of your day today to do this with me. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Mr. Kristof.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed.